As some of you know, I think Hunter mentioned, Mayor Dean was a part of the Daniel Rose Center for Public Leadership, which is an entity that the ULI has sponsored and brings a series of mayors and their staffs through every year for a year-long experience. And it's empowered leaders, and they trade war stories, the best practices, and mistakes made, and so on and so forth. And the mayor and his group have been a very successful part of that. And I think as part of that participation, hopefully some of the things that you're seeing here in terms of mixed income housing and some of the catalytic things that are happening in downtown are as a result, I hope, of some of the things that the mayor's experienced in the Rose Center. I got to tell you, this wasn't in my speech, but after riding around this afternoon, I got to tell you that to pull the trigger 5 or 6 years ago to build this convention center is one nervy move, and it is. And Mayor, my hat is off to you. That you got your head. Good decisions seem so easy through the rearview mirror. You all get a pause. I'm explaining to you all understand what it is. So it's a testimony to vision and to courage. And my experience is the difference between successful and mediocre city growth is leadership. And I've traveled all over the world in this job, and the language changes and the customs change and everything else changes, but the one thing that doesn't change is the difference that leadership makes. It is just extraordinary. There ain't no substitute for it. I've been involved in the land use business for more than 40 years, and if I've learned nothing else, I've learned that the difference between great cities and average cities is the cities that put the needs and the wants and the interests of their residents first. And I think, again, Nashville is someplace that's been able to do that. I know it may sound silly or simple, but you would be amazed at how many cities I've seen around the world who spend all their time trying to develop an image or a hook or a buzz line or something that just makes them, they think it's going to make them cool. The shrewdest urban plans, the smart urban plans, are the ones where a city figures out what the citizens of that city want and make that work. If you can find the formula that makes your citizens proud, that makes your citizens want to be there, it's unbelievable how investors find you. They are how other people find you. Happy residents attract envious others. That is just a fact of life. And so all of the things about what we should be doing and what somebody else is doing, those are dirt roads that you're going to get trapped going down. The thing that makes sense is what's right for Nashville, and what makes Nashville feel good about itself. And if you can do that, then my experience is that the world needs a path to your door, and I think you need to see that. I have often said, and I've been alive long enough now that I've proven it, that in the development business, demographics are far more powerful than interest rates. Interest rates last for a little while. Demographics are like a freight train. You can see them coming for 20 years, but they're unbelievably powerful. And again, you guys are doing a great job of attracting the demographic that matters, which is young people, we'll talk about in a minute, that are the demographic group that is providing the most profound impact in cities around the world. Nashville's become cool, however you want to define cool. And that reputation is attracting businesses, it's attracting investment, and it's one of the things that's made you one of the, our own emerging trends this year identified Nashville as one of the top 20 markets in the United States for investment and development. That is high praise. That was done through a very elaborate survey and is something you should be very proud of. At the ULI spring meeting a couple weeks ago, we released new research looking at what different generations, including Gen Y and baby boomers, want out of their communities in terms of housing, transportation, and lifestyle. The report reports that the Gen Y generation is truly different. My wife and I are the proud owners of 2 Gen Y participants. And I have spent 21 years on this research, and I am here to validate the fact that Gen Y is different. And for those of you that only own one model, I can also attest to you that boys and girls are different. But Gen Y, by far, is the generation that is most drawn to the kind of mixed-use urban development that we're seeing that is so popular around the country and around the world. It doesn't change in Europe, it doesn't change in Asia. And they want to be near their friends, they want to be within walking distance of places, they don't want to own a car, they want to be in this kind of place that you all are creating. They are 80 million strong, so it is a hugely powerful dynamic in the demographic and economy that we're all living with, and they're going to be here for some time. The oldest Gen Yers are turning 35, the youngest are 18. And they probably will be the first generation whose behavior causes a complete paradigm shift in what is built and where it's built. They are upending all kinds of notions about what traditional neighborhood development has been and the way we define it as developers for years and years. One of the characteristics of Gen Yers is they think short term. I can also confirm that. And they think short term not only about their planning, but also about where they're going to live and where they're going to work. They're going to buy houses and they're going to buy cars, but they're not going to buy the biggest thing they can to impress other people. They're going to buy what they need. That is different. They're going to live in urban areas, they're going to live in inner ring cities because they want to be near all the things they do. The places we saw this afternoon are perfect examples of I think, meeting that demand, and the success that they've had is I think, attributed to that. So it is a powerful force, and one of the things that was fun to see riding around was that you all are responding to it, it seems to me, in an interesting and intelligent way. Baby boomers, of which I'm the oldest living baby boomer, are not the future of cities. Gen Y is. That doesn't mean it's the Gen Ys are the people who are going to bring Nashville and all kinds of other places to life. And so you have to pay attention to them. But it's about adaptation. It's about what's here and how can I take it, and how can I adjust it, and how can I tear it down, and how can I use it again. They want to adapt. They want to adjust, they want to be flexible, and there's an enormous interest in reuse, or seeming reuse, of what's already been here. Going forward, I think that's what you can expect. More dense development, conservation of land and energy is going to be incredibly important. Transit-oriented development, as there's put in a plug for here, is going to be hugely important. It's going to increasingly be a separator between winners and losers. And the reuse of obsolete space in all kinds of ways. I've seen some of the coolest things around the country that were just defunct, locked up buildings that somebody's gone into and creatively made into a kind of cool, funky space. That's the future. And it's not just bricks and mortar. There's a livability that goes with it, and we think that's an important part of what we want to talk about and what we want to study as we go forward, as you go on. This summer we're going to announce a ULI worldwide effort that is going to look at the built environment through the lens of health and wellness. We're going to be looking closely at the creation of places that are conducive to healthy lifestyles. Places that thrive because they encourage not just getting exercise, but because they encourage a variety of creative choices in all aspects of life and how you live. I have a simple-minded example that I like to use that when I say this, I see people's heads nodding, which tells me I'm heading in the right direction. I personally want to live somewhere that makes it easy to have healthy habits, makes it fun to do smart things, but I don't want to feel guilty if I want to have a glass of wine at 6 o'clock at night. So, balance is the key. Granola is fine, but only if followed by Chardonnay.